So really, it's not like it's always there behind it. But if it's not displaying the image for any reason, it'll have the gray background. So it's kind of like it's always behind it, but without it actually being always behind it.
It wouldn't always be behind. Okay. So would it be there during that flicker?
It should theoretically, yes.
Okay. What do you think, Amin? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like the approach? Or can you think of a different way you do it?
It depends. I'm not sure if there's a way of like we tell the fast image that like as you know as you add the image to the cache.
Well, I mean the source is different though, because like the first source is from the phone itself, and then the second one's from a URL.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was like thinking of, like to tell the fast image, like to let fast image to use another key, for example, for indexing the caches, like instead of the URL, because we don't have a URL yet, and if there's a way, then we're not gonna see a flicker. If there's not, then the only way we have right now is that three blocks behind the image.
So should we try and see if fast image can do it, or should we go with the gray background?
Yeah, I mean, look at quick Google search or ChatGPT, if there's a way to update the fast image cache directly, and also the index key that's gonna be used. If there's no way, then yeah, like just don't spend so much on it, because I don't think there's a way. And I never done it, and I know like fast image is limited in terms of functions you can do.
Okay, so what do you think, Ismail?
Yeah, so I see where you're going with this, but yeah, we have to see first of all if it's possible to begin with. If fast image does allow us to do that. If they do, then that would theoretically prevent the flicker, because it won't be loading it from the URL anymore. But the only problem I see with that potentially is that will fast image ever release its cache or clear it at one point, or you know what I mean? And if it does, then they'll try to fetch an image that's not from the URL, which could potentially lead to an error or it not loading at all. If it doesn't hold on to the cache throughout the whole session the user is on.
No, like fast image does not release cache. It's only when you close the app and open it.
Okay. So if it never releases cache, then we can potentially, if they allow us. So there's two things that have to Yeah. So I'll look at it. If it's possible, I'll try to implement it. If it's not an option with fast image, I'll go with the gray background.
Okay. Does any of this help apply to that video where I was uploading but not?
No, that's separate. This is just for now for the or actually no, that's separate. That's separate, because the cache that gets cleared, so like when you're uploading a video, you go back and you go in, the cache that gets cleared is this cache, because this whole screen, right, has an instant. When you go here, the whole thing is gone, like it's closed. So it's cached with everything. So like, and then when you go back here, now that loader, why does this stay? Is because I have a global state to keep track of that. So it's a state, it's not cache. They're two different things.
I see.
And now this is cache, this is state. This stays accurate. The cache gets cleared, so you lose you have to somehow reinsert that video inside, which maybe we can use that state. Maybe I save the video in that state and then I reinsert it. But then that would get tricky. I'll have to make sure I only reinsert it if it's not already there.
Maybe you just save a gray rectangle instead, like, so it's not trying too much. Go back to the more simplistic stopgap measure, just have the gray background. So at least there's some placeholder.
Well, that's the thing. The problem is I need to know when the video is in cache and when it's not.
But that's where the state will tell you.
No, the state wouldn't tell me if it's in cache or not.
But when you leave and
So-
come back, you know that happened. So that means
Well, when I leave and come back, yeah, I have to. That's what I'm saying. I have to figure out a accurate way of knowing when it's there or not.
Mhm.
And then that leaves us with one last problem. Is that the cache after the video is done uploading, the cache doesn't get updated here. So what I'm saying is when we, like, for example, if you have an image here,
it didn't show up like in real time.
yeah, it won't. Because like right now, if you hit send, well, the cache is gonna update, right?
Yeah.
And then once it's actually sent, it doesn't really do anything else.
That's where a placeholder is better than nothing.
No, but you don't get what I'm saying. Oh yeah, but it would there would always be a placeholder unless they go back to the lobby and then back in the
Unless
chat.
they go back to lobby, or a user may tap on it thinking like, well, where is it? What if they tapped on it?
No, it's gonna be a placeholder. They wouldn't know what to do. So like,
If you did tap on it, what would happen?
well, there wouldn't be anything to tap on. It'd just be like a dummy gray
So it wouldn't
image.
actually, so okay, so there wouldn't be like the data isn't there.
No.
Okay.
So what I need to do is that mutation itself does return me the data once it's done uploading. So I can probably take it from there and update the cache with that, which I thought I did, but I guess we're not doing like, yeah, I just need to revisit some of this logic because I thought that's what it does. Because on complete, I do update the cache with the message, which is weird to me. So I need to do more investigating there. So those are kind of the challenges that I'm facing at the moment to have this kind of pretty much perfect user experience.
Okay. All right. Well, keep working on it. But in the meantime, maybe it'd be better for you to do the thing that I was talking to me about. It's hopefully it's quick. I mean, have you noticed like sometimes people accidentally share a user profile instead of they're trying to add a user to a group chat, and so they think like they go to that share button and then tap the people button, and they think they're adding, but they're sharing. So we have a modal.
Oh.
Yeah, we have simple modal. Chantel has a Figma design, and it just says, "Would you like to add this person to the chat or share this user's profile?" Something like that. And there's like two buttons, like share the profile or add to the group. Do you think you could implement that for us?
Yeah, that should be well. As far as adding the user to the group, that would having the modal pop up is easy. Sharing the profile would be easy. Adding the person to the group, yeah, I'll just have to find that mutation and call it. So it shouldn't be too bad, I guess.
Okay. Chantel, why don't you send Ismail that Figma link?
Which modal was that?
The one we worked on yesterday for sharing a profile.
Yeah, I thought I sent
You
that already.
sent it. You did. You sent it to Amin. Can you send it to Ismail, please?
Oh, yeah. Okay, got it.
Okay, thanks. So also Ismail, I had messaged about potentially doing like an Android build with the custom topics because I want to keep that moving, and it just.
I think we have a build with a custom. You just have to go to the older one.
But you did change it since then, right? No.
No, I just disabled it. So like, basically the cutoff was build 2.4, let's say. Before that, I just, like the difference, at least custom topic wise, was just I just disabled it between one build and then the other.
Okay, so there's no changes since that build.
No.
Do you remember which one that was?
I'll have to find it, but or you can just kind of, yeah, you just have to kind of see which one you can send it because the latest build that you can send a custom topic will be the one. So I'll have to find it.
I think it's like maybe 3 or 4 builds ago. Pod and Chantel, I'd like you guys to. What's that? Ismail?
Can they access older builds?
Good question.
I don't think they can.
Todd has an iPhone, so he can on there.
iPhone you
iPhone,
can
yes.
via test flight.
Android, no. We're not using TestFlight, or we're not using App Tester.
Yeah.
So you're stuck with the latest one.
Correct.
Okay, well, go ahead and go back a few builds in test flight to where custom topics were enabled.
Implemented. Okay.
And I don't know, maybe it's like .02, maybe around there. Like
I think it might have been 3.
maybe .03. You'll know because you'll press the button.
But you want to go to the latest one that has it, because that has that has at least all the bugs that we are aware of fixed. There might be more, obviously, but
Yeah, there was some.
I'll find the latest one.
Okay, yeah, there's some odd behaviors in there. And Chantel, maybe you could do it on your iPhone as well. And what I'd like you guys to do is test the custom topics thoroughly. Because when I had tested with it, I did notice some problems with navigating from a notification. It was not properly navigating me. Some other, definitely, there was definitely defects that need to be uncovered. Like things you would expect to happen don't happen how you expect, so that needs to be addressed.
All relating around topics? Is that what you mean?
Custom
Or
topics.
just in depth? Got the topics right.
Yeah, for creating a custom topic, it's a new feature that's still in testing.
Yep, you got it.
Chantel, so will you get it on your iPhone as well?
Yeah, you said a couple back, like a couple versions back. Did you have like a specific one?
Try .03, and if you
Okay.
press the custom topic button, it should enter a flow. That's how you'll know it's working.
Okay.
and if it's not, just go O2.
Yeah.
02 or 03?
Well, just keep going down. Start at 03, and if it's not working, just keep going down versions until it is. But you want to be on the latest version that it is working.
Okay.
Todd, you're following all this, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, just make sure you guys, if you have any questions, just let me know.
There's a 2 and a 1. 03 2 and a 03 1. Any preference?
Yeah, the one in parentheses, that's probably that's the latest one. Try that one.
The parentheses 2?
Yeah, the 2. If that doesn't work, just you can skip the 2 though.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. So test exhaustively things that are not necessarily like the most obvious ways to use it, but like different, try and be in a chat when someone does a custom topic, try and be in somebody else's chat, and then tap a notification with it in the background, tap a notification with the app fully closed, all that is like a lot of different scenarios.
What profile are you using? Just so I can intentionally interact with whatever profile that you're using, and we can do that together.
Yeah, are you using your main account or a test
Yeah.
account?
I don't have any test accounts.
Okay, I'll message you within the app.
Okay.
So you have it. Cool.
Okay, great. Thanks for that. That'll be helpful because we have some different branches now working concurrently, which is great. And that while this one is in testing, Ismail, we can still, if things check out with, there's some minor changes. Amin has those PRs, and if you can get that modal for the people sharing, that would be really helpful because that is a current problem where people are sharing profiles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll get that one in.
Okay, so I'd like to do a build for release with that fix and then Amin's PRs. And I think Wells maybe has a PR too. And Ian has a question too. So what's up, Ian?
We're ready to go live with Core. The only thing is, or that the review funnel. The only thing is, I don't think that we have location pages for San Diego Computer Help, Laptops Plus, Solana Computer Guide, etc. Those probably need to be double checked.
I thought maybe they're not claimed, but I think I sent you some, didn't I?
I don't know if I've seen previews with like proper images and everything. I think Todd is supposed to be the owner of all of our locations. So presumably he could confirm that they're working, and if that page is dynamic, then they should just work. But before we actually flip the switch and stop sending people to Google and start sending people to Sircles, we want to make sure that those profiles are actually working.
So I forgot what we decided. Are we gonna show them the tech to you? Because that's what's in Sircles, and it's dynamically generating the profile image.
So the logic that we have right now in Core is if a customer receives service at, like, let's say Laptops Plus in Carlsbad, then the link that they see when they click the thumbs up and they land on Google, they're reviewing Laptops Plus Carlsbad, because we don't actually even have a tech to you Carlsbad in Google.
Well, now this is like the opposite for us. There is a tech to you Carlsbad in Google. Like, I mean, we have
could be.
There is, because we have it in Sircles and it's comes from Google.
Okay. I didn't realize that we had that. I don't. There's not a Google Places page. I can't find it. But that's was expected. We intentionally never built one because we were using the pre-existing SEO and Google, reputation from those purchased businesses, rather than trying to start from scratch with a new tech to you listing.
Is it at 6020 Paseo del Norte?
Yeah, right.
Huh. I see it here. I don't know if there's a Google Places listing, but there is a tech to you Carlsbad.
We have it on our website. Are you looking in Sircles? Is that what you're saying?
No, I've Googled it. I Googled tech to you Carlsbad.
Yeah. I mean, you won't. I don't think you're going to find a Places listing, which is where we pull our data from, right?
The question is it in Sircles? Because that comes from
Right. Yeah, like even Solana Computer Guide, there is no tech to you Vacaville. We use Solana Computer Guide for all of our Google reviews.
Okay. Let me check. If I search tech to you Carlsbad, I get a result for Laptops Plus Carlsbad.
That's good. I mean, that's what we want.
It is favorited by you and Levi.
Yeah. Come on.
So that's what would show up. What was that?
I said, what are you doing? You're not favoriting our own businesses?
Well, I guess, I thought we had it rebranded.
No, yeah, we absolutely could at any time, but I think we'd be shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, I know. It's like I kind of want to take the medicine at some point because, like,
I'm with you. It's been something we've talked about in management meetings a lot, but it is effective. Like, one of the killer features is we have example phone calls of people calling Laptops Plus, then Tech to You, then San Diego Computer Help, and then booking with San Diego Computer Help.
Yeah, for sure. I know. All right, we'll talk. That's another discussion. But we can have this be the image. Like, this is Laptops Plus Carlsbad.
Yeah, that's not a bad default image, the one that's there. But I think what we probably should do first is make sure that Todd has properly claimed all of our locations.
Yeah, well, I think that kind of should be a prerequisite for anybody that we provide our funnel to. Like, if we're going to integrate with their POS, like, they have to claim their business because all kinds of reasons. This is like, there needs to be two-way communication and all that.
Well, and yeah, right. Right. Oh man, I just thought of something. Holy shit, you just blew my mind. I think you were already thinking that this could be getting worked on, but we haven't specifically talked about this. One of the biggest challenges with getting a review funnel system like Core to work is that you need to have automation into the user's CRM. It's the reason why I pay that company $300 a month for Elite Dogs, is because I can't integrate anything that we build into that closed system.
Right.
But they have a relationship with another company, whereas Square will pass us that data. So we could sell review funnel services to anybody with Square.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking is this would go, because
I didn't even think about it.
When you said they had an integration with your proprietary software for the kennel, I was thinking like, well, I like the way that sounds. Like we have an integration with Square, you know, and we would integrate this into.
Multiple benefits. We get to get you good reviews, and maybe we could even say, we could give you a choice. We could send 50% of users to Google and help improve your reputation on Google if you want to pay for that. That's a service we offer. Or you could just send everybody to Sircles, and that would be no cost or something like that.
I like that a lot. That's awesome. Yeah.
That's a definitely a serious like potential revenue stream.
Yeah, or it's a huge value if we offered it with the subscription. Let's say we could raise the price on the subscription, but then include this.
Right.
It's a value for sure. So, I'd like to consider doing that on Friday with that small business we're going to meet with and see how that would work. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be all done on Friday, but like start.
Right. We can at least talk to them about it.
Yeah, let's see if it's how doable and all that. But does it sound pretty doable to you?
Yeah, very. I mean, we already confirmed that the API can send us back transaction details every time a transaction occurs. Now, as long as they collect customer information, phone number or email, we could use either one of those as a method to hit the customer after a designated period of time to prompt them for a review.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. They're all good. Anything we do there. What's up, Todd?
Sorry to interrupt you guys. I'm trying to get into version 02 in iOS, but I'm not getting past the auth code.
What do you mean not getting past the auth code?
I get the code and I put the code in, or actually it gets put in, acts like it's going to proceed, it then doesn't. I'm still stuck at these blank circles, or I have to input a code.
Yeah, I think we have a problem
manually
with that build. Chantal, how's .032 working?
Yeah, I think that is the bad build now to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was trying to download 032, it like kept closing where I couldn't open it. So I like uninstalled again, reinstalled it, and now I'm getting through.
What version are you on?
03. Well, hang on, let me.
Yeah, .03 and there's a 2 in parentheses.
Got it. Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Let me know if you have any problems with onboarding. I don't know. You were saying it was.
Yeah. So I did 1 because 2, the custom topics wasn't working.
Oh, so Todd, do the one that has a 1 in parentheses.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Yeah. So .03 with the 1 in parentheses there.
Cool. On it. Thank you.
Okay. And then what happened, Chantal? It was crashing, or what were you saying?
Yeah. Every time I went to try to open the app after I installed it, I couldn't open it. It like just said Sircles has crashed. Do you want to report it?
What do you think that's about?
I think it might be related to critical OTA updates.
Okay. Is that going to
but I'm able to get in now.
But that's not going to happen to a user because the user can't downgrade their app. They can only update.
Okay.
But that's my guess.
Okay. Jerry, can you just do like a search of any crashes that are happening over the last couple of days? I just want to make sure it's not a widespread.
What do you mean, like crash? Like looking Sentry?
Yeah, essentially, just like how many crashes have there been in the last 3, 4, 5 days?
Okay.
Yeah. And then of those, how many are like new installs versus, you know, how many of those were returning users? Like, what were the circumstances around them? Is there a pattern? Is there something? Is there one, like there may be maybe 20 crashes, but maybe 10 of them are all related to this one thing, and then that thing probably needs to be addressed. Maybe just want to make sure it's not a bigger problem.
So across all versions, or maybe we can do anything above 2.2.0.
I would start with all versions because
Yeah.
what you know, what does that number look like?
Hey, John, I need to hop into another meeting. We're good for right now anyway. I'll follow up with you more on the core conversation. But for now, I think a good starting point is let's just make sure Todd has control of all of our locations and that the key image is acceptable, or you know, whatever we want there. And then Mara and I can just flip the switch when you guys give us the green light.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. I'll be back with you. Are you guys coming in today?
I don't know. I'm playing it by ear.
Oh, come on. I missed you guys yesterday.
That's true. Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
All right, we'll see. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, bye.
Okay. So I see one error that does come up consistently. It says cannot read property images of undefined.
Okay.
So which array it is attempting to look at. I'll just drop this in here, and this would be like a white screen error.
Okay.
Like,
is that even like as recent as like today or yesterday? Or?
I see one that happened 3 minutes ago. iPhone 11. Oh, let me go. Yeah, this is iPhone 11. This is an hour ago. I don't think actually that's right. Let's see. Winston-Salem, US. I don't have a user key. I would just see iPhone 11, and I see that, so I'm not able to tell you more about who it is.
Friend Connect just worked fantastic. I was already friends with Chantel, but it did the new Friend Connect, whereas it will send an emoji and then suggested some people.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Cannot read property data of undefined. Is this handled, or I'm trying to figure this out? Outside of these two, the rest are, I mean, I only see like one or two occurrences over months or weeks.
Okay. So that's nothing too crazy.
Mm-hmm. Now, I did actually see a weird error this morning, which maybe we should bring it up for Android. Somebody tried to go through onboarding on version 2.2.0 on Android 6.
That's old.
And there was an API that it tried to call. They got a hard crash. They tried to call an API that was like, oh, you have to be on Android API 27 for this. And that's what I wanted to bring up is, what do we have our minimum Android API set to on compile for Android? Maybe we want to set a limit that we only want people like Android 9 and newer. I don't know what Android API 27 is. Let me find out. Let's see. Yes. Android API 27 is Android 8. So I don't know how they were on Android 6.
I just thought of something. If I got that Friend Connect for Chantel, is she in production? Are you in production, Chantel, or is that build? That build might be pointing to production.
Both. The one I'm in right now, the one,
Mm-hmm.
the 3.1, that is a production version, and then I am on a production version on my Android.
Oh, okay. So yeah, just keep that in mind, and Todd, keep in mind that that version is point to production. But so the custom topics are working for you though.
Yeah,
Okay.
they are in one.
Good, good. Okay. Well, yeah, if you guys can test around that a bunch.
I guess going back to this question, what is our minimum supported version on Android right now?
Who would that be a question for?
What is? Let me check the Play Store.
Well, I guess he answered that because he said it was 20. You said they have to be on Android 9 and up, right?
Well, I think you said that in the config. So if I go to App Store, the Play Store, and look up Sircles, what does it say here? Like, what does it say for requirements? Darn it. What are we looking for? App support. No, it's just app support. Minimum. Let's see. So let me see minimum version. Compiled SDK version. So minimum circles. Wow. Usually, this is something that you would get from like ESLint, I feel. But if you tried to call something, you would say, oh, no, you got to be on a certain SDK version. But yeah, I don't even see where we're like defining in our maybe even app config. Let's see, config.
You're trying to find like the minimum version of support for Android?
Yeah.
That you will find it inside the Android folder, like inside the build Gradle.
Yeah, Android. Yeah, build Gradle. Okay.
The one it's under the app folder, not the one.
I see. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Our min SDK on Android is 23. And we have some libraries that require. Let me see the version that it required here.
I think it's at 27, right?
Let me find the error exactly, and then I'll let's see, requires. $20, $29 is something that we need to update. Supported API level 29. So
if there's a library that requires higher sticky version, the app will not build unless the requirements it's in a runtime.
Yeah, it looks to be a runtime error, but I do see that there are people who are trying to run the app even on Android 9, and it says your device version 28 required SDK 29.
Like from the Play Store?
Yeah, let me drop these. Let me drop these in the development chat. Android SDK. And yeah, so check these guys out. I want to make sure, I guess that we update the minimum SDK to be at least 29, it looks like. And that would be Android 10, which Android 10 came out in 2019.
I see what's going on. So it's the background bar controller library, and They should handle this like in their like native file, because you can do that if like the device you're running on is lower than the needed API level.
Yeah, there is logic for that, but it looks like they don't have it here. So
Yeah, they're not doing it. Either we are on an old version because it seems like this is the obvious thing to do. Maybe we are on an older version of this library where they fixed this. Other, if not, then we have to do the fix like on the native level.
okay, is that something you could check quickly, or
I can check that out.
yeah? I mean, maybe we'll run into just less issues overall if we require the minimum SDK to be 29. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Depends on do we want to. I don't mind.
Call for John.
What was the question?
The question is, do we set a hard limit? You know how on the App Store it's like, oh, requires iOS 15 or higher.
Yeah.
On Android, you can set that, and we don't have it right now. There are people with like Android 6 who are getting an app and it's just crashing. It looks like right now we can have a pretty safe go ahead if we just say Android 10 and newer.
Yeah, probably a good idea. I mean, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work, right? So
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we should probably do that. Okay.
Yeah, and then we could really eliminate just people who have agent devices. I mean, I don't know if you're going to tell somebody who's like on Android 9. I mean, honestly, by then it's just get a new phone because Android 10's been out since 2019.
Yeah.
I mean, I went and bought a phone from Walmart to test Android, and it has Android 13, and I paid like $30 for it.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, then, yeah, let's limit it. How do we do it?
We can do that in the app config, Jason.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, can set that.
Sounds good. Okay. All right. Then, anything else you wanted to add on that?
No, that's just something I saw this morning from Sentry.
Okay. So then, so lastly here, I think Wells, do you have a PR that you have available?
No, really. I am on the final steps on the CL functionality. I just created a new hook for actually navigating the user to the entertainment profile, because the logic for that was really big. So I got the logic extracted from where we were and updated it there, and also added it here. And now I think the only thing missing is the back button. Let me show you how this looks. I think you're going to enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it did provide me the endpoint for the favorites. So now we have it as well. And it is working beautifully. So here we have the entertainment search screen. And if I go, for example, to see all your favorites,
Very nice.
they are listed here. And if I scroll down, I will be loading more of them.
Okay.
Yep.
That's great.
And if I click, I can go to there. Sounds simple, but believe me, apparently it's not. Also, that works for favorites. So here you can see the most popular favorites, or perhaps not. As it's loading through.
What's that one?
Requires cycles. Okay, yeah. So let me go back. This
You
is
have to add the back button as well.
Yeah. There's the one of the things missing. But if I go, for example, for Ami's favorites, they're here. And that's all. So yeah, this is the integration I just did. So yeah, there's still
up on one of those profiles.
like here.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to make sure the play button was still there, so that's good. Okay. So how come it didn't show up under the most popular seal?
I gotta check that. Let me see here if from my recents.
And what's that gray one that doesn't say anything on it?
Yeah, that gray one. Apparently, it is on all of these that doesn't have enough. Or perhaps it doesn't. I did add some more check-ins to have a CO there. So why it is not showing anymore. Let me add a little more perhaps. Did it update there? Yeah, for some reason my recent check-ins aren't bringing in the other. There's no seal. I would check that also.
And it didn't bring it. What did you just check into?
I did check into some other thingy, but that is not showing here.
Didn't show.
I'm not sure if it's. Let me see. 3, 6, 9, 10. Okay, so this should be a CL button. I'll see why it is not.
And also should be in your list at the front, right?
In my list at the front?
Yeah, it'll be the most recent.
Oh. Yeah, I think this is the one I checked then.
Try another one.
Let me check into a really obvious one like Nick News.
Okay, yeah, I see it there. Okay, so it did go to the front. That's good.
Okay, yeah. Gotta check this. Let me see the trending. Okay, so trending check-ins are fine. Cool. I'm gonna check this most popular favorites here. Now, so same thing for my recent favorites. There's no CL here.
Hmm.
Okay.
So you spent the whole day on this yesterday, right? Did it? Actually, go back to that. I thought I saw a duplicate.
Some duplicated.
I thought
Where?
I did it. Let me see again. Which one were you just on? Your recents?
John, yeah.
It was mine. Okay. Yeah, scroll down. Go all the way down to the bottom. Maybe it wasn't under check-ins. I don't know. You were moving pretty quick, but
Maybe I think it was the favorites.
yeah.
Your favorites.
Yeah, right there. It's a duplicate.
Duplicate. Where?
Yeah, go back up. There's the vow right there.
Wow. Okay.
But maybe there's 2 seasons. That might be why. If you go up, you'll see the other one.
Oh, I see. Val here and Val here.
I saw another show. I don't remember which pill you were under, but I saw another show for Aaron Hernandez documentary.
I think I am in shows.
Okay, scroll. Go back.
TV.
Leave it there. Go back to where you were.
Okay. Like here?
Yep. Scroll. Keep going. Keep scrolling. So there's Aaron Hernandez, very top middle. And then I saw another place. Let me see. Actually, I see two Mr. Robots. There's Aaron Hernandez again. And then I see two Mr. Robots. Why do you
Yeah, indeed. Let me see. So we have 80 favorites loaded.
So,
Mr.
kind of help
Robot
you
is
know
here.
if there's duplicates or not, the best method would be to look at the network response, and if there are duplicates in the network, then it's a backend. If there isn't any duplicates in the network, that means it's a problem with the cache.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I can spot the duplicates here. Mr. Robot and Mr. Robot. Let's see on the network.
Maybe with the pagination, because if you're doing a pagination, you're passing the wrong offset, so it fetches the same page again.
Mm,
Is there only specific ones that are duplicated, or
It didn't look like there was a pattern to them. Like there's the Daily Show and,
yeah,
and
there's
last
patterns for the front end.
But what's that?
If there's no pattern on the ones that are duplicated, it's probably front end.
Yeah, well, one thing is just look at the backend real quick. Like that'll be the quickest way. See if there's any duplicates in the response of the backend. You know, you can use Google Chrome. It'll be super quick. You press J on your.
As you can see my screen. Sorry. Just a second.
Because I like to do that first before you to make sure you're not chasing a ghost. Because if the back, and then if after you are 100% sure there's no duplicates on the back end, then it's front end.
So I see the duplicates here on the logging of the list. So for Mr. Robot and Mr. Robot. On the network though, let me record. Yeah, then yesterday I added the skeleton loading that you see fast when the screen comes. And all the other stuff.
What is that now? You added skeleton loader.
Yeah, added the skeleton loader.
Okay.
And other stuff to the screen.
Okay. But still got a little ways to go here.
Prefer requester.
I was hoping to get this in our next build, which I'd like to do today.
Mm-hmm.
So because Amin has a couple PRs ready for review, and then Ismail's going to add a little modal that helps something, and then this is a nice improvement. And but I want to build for release.
Yeah, Ismail, any idea why the backend is not being shown here, like the requests?
Just sometimes it gets like out of sync, so you can just close that altogether, the Google Chrome, and the one with the debugger, and then just go to your terminal and press J.
Yeah, it is not working.
If you go to your terminal, press J, what happens? The terminal where you have the Metro running.
It is this one.
And so I think I can see there. You press J, nothing happened.
Yeah. Sometimes it happens. Also, the command Z here on the simulator, it's not gonna be working. So for that to work, I would have to close the simulator and reopen it. So then I can open the. Don't know why that happens.
Try just closing the app. Like, stop the Metro, close the app, and reopen Metro, and then rerun the app.
Wait.
You don't have to do yarn iOS. That will tend to take longer to lead to, like, if you already have the app installed, just open the simulator.
Okay.
If you guys are facing difficulty, I will directly call API here and I will check the duplicate.
Huh?
If you guys are facing facing network issue, like reload issue, so I can directly call the API and check the API.
Yeah, no, but he just wants to have his environment right. I mean, he probably needs it to be up. So, Wells, like, are you following what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna happen if you keep calling yarn iOS. Just do like MPX. So what's it called? So just like start the metro manually and keep the app as is. Let's see.
Okay, how do I start the metro? Like,
Yeah, give me a second. Let me get that command for you. Just do MPX Expo start. And then if you want to clear the cache, you'll do MPX Expo start and then dash C if you want to clear the cache. But right now you don't have to clear the cache.
Okay.
And just open your simulator that you were running, and just open Sircles from there. Did you press anything? What's that?
I press I for it to open the iOS simulator.
No. I shouldn't do that. Or is that the terminal you have?
Perhaps that's because I couldn't cache.
But yeah, if you keep running yarn iOS every time you do it, you're gonna run into that error. Now press J on your okay. Now if you go to your networks, it should be logging your traffic. Try to like do something in the app. Yeah, there you go.
Awesome.
Yeah, do you know which one that was? Those one, yeah. Let's see if that has any duplicates in it.
Let me. So these are the two we have made so far.
Yeah, so if you go to preview, it'll be easier to see what's that?
Let's pull a little bit more so we have might have duplicates.
Yeah. Or actually, this would be, yeah, if you want to visualize them, or if you want to like search them in response, like. But see, you have to make sure you have duplicates on your front end first, and then you can see them here if they are duplicates or not. So first, like, reproduce it on the front end side, and then see if.
Did you spot any?
Sorry, I wasn't looking. Go slower. Right there. Stop.
Yeah.
The one that says
These also Mandalorian.
Yeah, that one right there. Yeah. Let's take that for example.
Okay, let's look for the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I guess you can look at a response. Then that'll be quicker, right? If you wanted to do a search, does that return all the data or no? Well, that's an empty array. Yeah. Let's do like a command find, I think. Oh, Command F.
Yeah, I'm searching. Wait. Oh, here. Okay, so here's the Mandalorian.
Okay. Now let's see if you find it in any of the other requests. You should probably try the ones under it too.
Yeah, I think I tried.
You did?
Yeah, see down here. And so this is the Mandalorian. Then yeah, perhaps it's the offset.
Yeah. Then yeah. Well, if you don't see it there, then I don't think it's the offset either. Because if it was the offset, wouldn't the backend also return a double? So probably it's the way you're updating a cache.
So I confirm from the backend it is not returning duplicate.
Yeah, no, it's not. We just confirmed that. So let me see here. Do you want to show me how you're updating your cache?
Yes, sir. Let me just not get up there. So this is how that's done. So I fetch 10 with an offset 0. And then when you scroll to the end, I fetch more. And the offset is the items I have already. And I fetch 10 more. So I'm getting from the length of the state I have there.
This is for the fetch more, okay, and then you do previous, and you do.
Perhaps it's on the update query I'm doing.
Perhaps what?
Sorry, what did you say?
You said something. So when it comes to this fetching, that looks fine. Do you want to console log that info.length for me?
Yes, sir.
And one thing we might want to do is have the backend return you that. But let's see what that is.
Where do you want me to log it?
Whenever you scroll, like whenever it's called, basically. So, right up there.
Okay, 10, 20, 30.
See, I did 30 twice.
Oh, wait, but I did put the console before I do the verification that stops me from fetching it. Let me put the console log below it.
Sure.
Okay, so let's go there. And 20.
Also, I should probably load more. Yeah, I did 30 twice again.
Yeah, I did 30 twice.
So that's a problem. I did 70 twice, and that's where you see the duplicates. So one, I remember running into this in the past. Give me a second here. Let me see the best way to handle this was. So that's the problem handling it this way is the thing is, if you look at the code, that info.link, so that info.link is if it gets called, like, yeah, it can potentially get called before the actual API finishes returning and before it's updated. So info still has the old data. It's not up to date with the recent data, and that's how that happens. Now, let me see here.
Perhaps.
I already have a solution. Let me just make sure I give you the right method. Because I had that with trust tips, I believe, is where I ran into it. I have to find that for you. I remember this problem. Like, I ran into the exact same problem. I know that, and I need to find how I fixed it. Yeah. So you're gonna, if you go to profile screen.tsx, you'll see that the best way to do it is probably get it from the back end. So if you go profile screen.tsx, then you go to line 189.
Next offset.
Yeah. So just talk to Amit. He can return the next offset, and that way, it'll always be accurate.
I'm thinking here though, like even if I have the next offset correctly, for example, let's say 60. If I scroll it twice here, and I actually call the fetch more twice with the number, even though the number is correct, won't it actually give me duplicate data, just like we have already?
And you're doing this inside on end reach, right?
Sorry, I didn't what?
You're doing it inside on end reach.
Yes.
Go back to your code.
Let me go back here. Just a second. No, on scroll and drag. Scroll view.
Well, you have a scroll view. Why do you have a scroll view? Something that big? Wouldn't it be better to have a flash list?
Yeah, perhaps that's a good idea. So the thing I'm doing here is
because a flash list has on end, so it would only call it when it reaches the end. I think this one probably has something similar, but it won't be as accurate. And then,
I'll switch. I'll swap for a flash list then.
Yeah, and then you have that problem where when you first load it, it only loads 10, but to load more, you have to drag it. Where with the on flash list, you can have a threshold where if it's like 60-70% dragged, it will call the rest. So it would actually fill everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and once you do that, I would recommend going to like the profile screen and then probably make sure that on end reach is a callback and it's I think what I have, how I fixed that is that I have it asynchronous. For the fetch more, so it would actually require you to call the fetch more and it would wait for it, and so you can't have double the value because it would be asynchronous because it has to wait for the other API call to finish, and then that fetch more would actually have that next value for you. Does that make sense?
I'm not sure if Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, sure. So the way so you're saying how you won't get duplicates, right? The
Yeah.
trick is to make that on end asynchronous,
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
so that you would await the fetch more, and only after the fetch more is done, it would call the update query. So it can't call the update query before that fetch more is not done, and that fetch more would have the next value for you ready, the correct one.
Awesome. So, and that's done by the flash list.
Well, so there's two parts of it. First, you want to use Phosphorus. It's faster, and it gives you that threshold where it'll just automatically call the on end when it reaches the end.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to do that first. Now the second part is the on end. You're going to create that function. You want to make that asynchronous. That's on you. That's not part of flash list.
I see, I see, I see, I see.
So just follow the guidelines in the profile screen, because I already ran into that problem when I fixed it. So just do the exact same like method, like on end asynchronous, because like that's literally exactly what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Get that problem fixed. So just follow that screen and you'll be fine.
Okay.
Also, just ask Amit to send you back that
Okay.
offset, and make sure you're getting it. You're fetching it.
Okay, okay. So we will need to ask Amit for the next offset. Okay.
Correct.
Does that mean so this won't be ready today then? Huh?
No, it could still be ready today. It will require some work, but yeah, sure. Because like I said, I did everything in profile screen, so you just have to like copy it. Like you already have like a kind of a guideline of steps to follow.
Mm-hmm.
So just mimic that, and you'll be good to go.
Okay. Yeah. I will keep this in mind. I will do some notes here.
Okay, great. I'd like to get a PR for this today, then maybe get it included in our next release.
Yes, sir. I want this to be done ASAP as well.
Yeah.
I haven't done this much code in errors. I think this is the most code I've ever made, even in Circles.
Why do you say that?
Good. There's a lot of code, a lot of stuff. Like it's basically an entire new screen full of the phrasing interactions that we see kind of like in the older ones. Apparently, everything that involves entertainment has a bunch of data and a bunch of stuff and a bunch of queries and etc. It's cool stuff. Just take some time.
But it ended up being a lot of code, huh?
Yeah, lots of code. I am doing so. Yeah, Ismail. By the way, I'm doing some optimizations as I look into the stuff here, creating new hooks and seeing stuff that might be useful in other places and extracting the logic so it's going to be easier to use in different places. Like this, use navigate to entertainment here, because when you go navigate to these actions, so going to this screen, it is not just a matter of calling a screen. You actually have to have these different kinds of params. So TMDB ID or IDB ID or listen ID or book ID for different stuff. So you have to have these different forms of validation here and verification and etc. So and some maps for the way we log that to the analytics and some other stuff. So I am extracting this kind of logics here to functions that are gonna help us. So instead of having a bunch of code like this was part of a 600 line code, and I just extracted this, so it's like almost 100 lines less. And when I use it on the next screen, it's basically 2 lines because I'm just going to be calling this function that's going to be exported. So there are going to be some stuff like these on the review, Ismail, for a way to.
Yeah. I mean, that code is pretty old. So yeah, like if you find anything you can optimize in that, yeah, go for it. Those screens do need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was working on optimizing this at the beginning of the call, but let's have everything working first, and then it gets easier and easier to update things like this, because then the logic is being used in different places. So if I update it here, I actually fix the issue in many different other places and etc.
Yeah, and if the PR is too big, you can like have it working first and then have the optimization in a separate PR to make it easier to review.
Oh yeah, indeed, that makes sense. That's a good idea. That's a really clever idea. So yeah, let's look forward to having this issue done today. Having this new feature.
Okay, lovely. So that'll be the plan, Ismail. We'll get that modal to add the friend to the chat.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll stop on the upload and finish that, and then have the build ready. Then I'll go back to uploads.
Okay. Okay, cool. And then yeah, and review the PRs from Amin, and so Amin, you have stuff keeping you busy too, right?
Oh yeah. I just sent a message that the build for testing this coding is done, and yeah, it's ready, so we can test it. Also, like I pushed the fix for the jumping in the profile screen that shared and Chantel has. There's a new PR for it.
Oh, cool. Okay. How would you address the jumping? Was it
Like the straightforward easy one is like making the fetching the location faster instead
oh
of
right.
slow.
Okay, good. Okay, that's also ready now for review?
Yeah, it's ready for review.
Okay. So then what else do you have going on?
I will like go finish the streamline favorites.
Okay. Yeah, that one I wanna
And also I'm not sure if you remember, but there's this other issue like when there's a critical update, if a user coming from a deep link, that will be lost.
right.
So yeah, that will be my next bit as well.
Okay. Okay, cool. When you have something to show me on the streamlined onboarding, let me know because I want to see that.
Okay.
Okay,
Also,
cool.
I mean, I approved some of your PRs if you want to merge those in.
Okay, I can make them. Yeah.
Nice. All right.
I need to drop for now. Quick sign.
Okay.
And I'll be back like in 20, 25 minutes.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Amin.
Thank you.
Take it easy. Okay, yeah, I gotta go to Todd and Danny. I guess I'll meet you guys over at the office.
Sounds good.
I can get there around 3:30.
Until 3:30?
Yeah, I gotta get the kids.
I thought it was 2:30.
That's Mondays.
Oh, well, it's a lot of driving for a couple hours.
So, I mean, it's about
Okay.
45 minutes of driving. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me see how things unfold. I still have a lot to do. And Todd, you Chantel, you guys have been testing.
Yeah, we still are.
You must have found some things by now, right?
We did.
Plenty.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe make some tickets or share with Ismail on those.
Yeah, I'll work with Chantel, put it in Trello and start with.
Okay, good. I'm glad you guys are doing that because
Yeah.
we're close, but it just needs testing. So, okay, well then, all right, I'll grab some food and I'll get back. I have some stuff I want to do around like refunder update and stuff like that off. But let's see how it unfolds and we'll rally back here in a little bit.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, all right. Thanks everybody. I'll talk to you then.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.